Well, congratulations, Gary. A superb win. You must be delighted.
Yeah, very pleased for everybody at the club. You know, it was a big relief, as well as the win on Saturday, to get back on track, and you mustn't get carried away by that in any way or form. And you know, it was a great 3 points up at Chester, and it was a tough game to have following Tranmere Rovers, ex-league club, who in a lot of people's views and opinions will be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. First 20 minutes were very tough, John. You could see the quality of the players, what they had in their team, the movement, and Jake Cole made a couple of very important saves, as well as defenders making important tackles. And to get through that first 20 odd minutes the way we did, a certain amount of luck, which about time we've had, because we haven't had much this season, and some, as I say, good interceptions. We just changed the formation a little bit, and in 5 minutes of changing the formation, actually, we broke on the counter-attack down the right-hand side, and great ball in from Bruno. And Dan Ullman, it's a great header. It's a great header because he's got a cross into an area of space and knew where he was going to direct it with power. And to go 1-0 up, it flattered us a little bit at that time, John, against the run of the play. But it certainly settled us down. And I think that when you've got 7 boys in the squad of 16 players, 21 and under, and with the confidence very low, it's important that we get that edge start. That first goal was a major factor for us when you're so low, and we got that at Chester, I'm pleased to say, on Saturday, and we've got it tonight, and it seemed to settle us down more, and it was quite even at that time. The game was a very good tempo played by both sides. It was end to end, and we've got the second goal, really a great strike. I think it was Dan Ullman who struck the ball very, very well, and the lad Davis in goal. It was, you know, moving about the ball. It was hard for him to hold cleanly, but there's Johnny Goddard, and again, that's 11 in 22 starts, averaging 1 in 2 from midfield, John, in the league. We ain't even out of November, and that's a tremendous compliment to John as a player and as a lad in every way form, because he's got ambitions of progressing, and I think he's making people up and down the country take note of that scoring record. And 2-0 at half time, and it was more a case of really, John, keeping the players focused, concentrating in respect to the second half to hopefully carry on the good work. The first 10 minutes of the second half was always going to be telling, and you know, you were never comfortable at 2-0, John, and you know, I'm pleased to say that we come through that first 10 or 15 minutes of the second half. Again, Dan Ullman's got the third goal, and I felt a little bit more comfortable at that time. But again, against the Tranmere side of quality, that, you know, if they get one goal and it can change. But you know, Joe Quigley making his own debut, a young lad, got behind him, beat the offside trap, and 4-0. Yes, the game's won from there, and you know, it was a strange sort of game, really, John. It was a sort of game, really, which could have been like, you know, 6-all, 7-6. You know, it was end to end, and we took our chances tonight at important times. Our goalkeepers made important saves, but being fair, so did their goalkeeper. You know, and the goalkeepers and defence, and I think as a team they're very frustrated at the end, because you know, there was an opportunity on the halfway line. It's a great execution from their lad to score deep into injury time. We had 3 players around it, but you know, a couple of boys said that they were on bookings, and you know, and the game's won. It's a tough call, but we would have liked to have had that clean sheet. Jake's very upset because he's made some great saves on Saturday at Chester. He's made some great saves this evening, but to show the character and the response what we've shown, it's a massive lift. We've changed things around a little bit. We've got Matt Crosley in on a Thursday last week with me and Steve, who used to previously play at Woking here, and a big favourite with a lot of people, but a top centre half. He's been working with the defenders, and I think you'll see a little bit more of organisation and reward there. So, you know, we're now playing for the weekend up to Barrow.
And talking of defenders, Gary, it's been noticeable that you've moved the defence around, and they look much more solid, don't they? Joey Jones has gone back, slotted alongside Brian Sarr, and they look a very strong partnership.
Yeah, well, John, it's unbelievable to say, but it's only the first, when I say the first time, the second time this season that we've had the same team and the same subs involved in a match. You know, we haven't had a settled team with the injury situation, and we're having to move players about, and we've had players playing who are not fit, and people sitting on the bench who are not fit. And there's our squad, John. Really, at the present time, 16 players. That's where we are. 5 loanies, and all of a sudden, like, you know, a lot of hard work from everybody. We've got 2 good results, and we go on from there.
And it just shows you, Gary, doesn't it, what an extraordinary game football is, because it is fine margins. Because, as you say tonight, Jake Cole made a couple of magnificent saves at important times, one in the first half, one in the second half. If they go in, it could be a different game.
Without a doubt, especially when you're low on confidence, and what we have been. But, you know, as you quite rightly say, Jake's done very well, and the team have responded. You know, after the first 20 minutes, we've changed things around. They've hung in there. We've rode our luck a little bit, but we've got that break, and I felt, as I say, from probably 20 minutes on, it was quite an even game. I thought it was a great game of football to watch. I know I can say that because we won 4-1, but for the Woking fans, and we haven't won at home for 7 weeks, John, and it's been a tough time. They've been very patient. I think they've seen different performances. I think they've seen unsettled teams. They've seen young teams there who are low on confidence, but they've kept with the boys. They understand the circumstances and the position me and Steve Thompson are in with the injuries and where we are financially at the football club, and they've been very, very, you know, understanding about that. So I'm pleased for those, you know, in a big way tonight, and everybody at the football club. So, you know, it was a nice weekend just gone with getting the win up at Chester, and of course getting the win tonight. So we have to prepare ourselves now for going to Barrow on Saturday.
And a word about Dan Holman. He was the sponsors man of the match tonight, and as well as scoring 2 goals, he works so hard, doesn't he?
He works very, very hard, John, and he's a lone player as well. You know, and you do get a situation sometimes with forwards, and even more so when they're lone players, that they don't tend to show the commitment and desire. Ever since Dan Holman's come to the football club, the attitude, desire, even though when he's played up front at times by himself, left loaned up there and against giants, he never say no. But you know, all credit to the young boy Quigley, and that coming in, I think it's relieved Dan of a certain amount of pressure, and you know, the whole team has done very well. So that's the way forward.
And next up, a long away trip to Barrow. Of course, they've just fetched in Paul Cox, and I imagine you'll be hoping it won't be the new gaffer bounce.
Well, that's where it is, John. I could see it happening. No disrespect to the previous management at Barrow. I know Paul Cox very well. Top manager. He's won the Conference League. Barrow have been very ambitious by the sound of it with his appointment. I see only across the Sky News it's a 3.5-year contract, so there'll be plenty of big things, and we know it's going to be tough, but they're all tough, John. We have to prepare properly. We're going up there on the back of 2 good results, which is a lot more encouraging.
Lovely, thank you very much, and safe journey home, Gary.
Cheers, thank you.